Know if you know your history, but in the early 1900s, Germany decided to go to war. And when everyone was like, "Who are you going to war with, Germany?" They were like, "The world." And we're like, "Oh." And they almost won. And then a couple years later, they were like, "We're gonna go to war again." And we're like, "Didn't pan out well for you for the first time. Who are you gonna choose this time?" And they were like, "The world." And I feel like after that, we shouldn't have just let them be a country.
I mean, honestly, they
Like,
didn't really let them be a country mostly.
no. But, like, maybe the nation of Germany just ceased to exist after you attack the world twice.
Well, I mean, that was part of like how war changed, uh, or well, like how the end of wars changed from old school, because you know, the old school was always, you know, you're giving us land, maybe all of it, when a war ended, to like, hey, sometimes, um,
Sometimes shit happens, eh?
well,
Might happen
sometimes
again.
they don't take everything. There's like you're gonna like I mean Napoleon apparently had that shit happen a lot to him. Uh where like people were like, we're declared war against you. He was like, alright, and then defeated them. And they're like, damn. And he's like, alright, just don't do it again. And like, okay, we won't. And then like a few years go by and they'll be like, let's declare war against Napoleon. Like it got to a point where they weren't even declaring war against the country. They were just like, we're declaring war against Napoleon. Like if you guys want to get rid of him, then we're cool. But if it's Napoleon in charge, we're declaring war. And they did it like and it was kind of like world wars where there were like several countries attacking France, Napoleon France at the time. And he'd be like, all right, and then defeat them all. Uh and then just be like, okay, so you guys done? And they'll be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then like, time would go by, and they'd be like, hey, you know what we haven't done in a while? Attack Napoleon.
It's also weird to think that after he was finally ousted as emperor, that they threw him on an island and was like, "Alright, he's on an island by himself." And then eventually he worked his way back and went, "Hey, what if I just took over Europe again?"
See,
And they're like, "Yeah, give it a shot." And he did, and he failed. And they went, "Get back on the island."
well, see, because I watched this thing on Napoleon. The whole him getting on an island the first time was like he was sent there as a prisoner, but like they also were just like really like the people there on the island treated him like a hero,
Yeah.
and they left no guards to keep him there.
No, he was basically king of an island.
Yeah,
And
and he could have just stayed there and been king of an island, but he was like, fuck this shit. I was an emperor.
yeah, and he was like, "You know what? I almost took all of Europe.
See,
It was just
apparently
those
his
pesky Russians."
well, not even that. Britain was a huge problem for him.
Yeah, Britain's always been a huge problem.
The downfall was the Russian part where he just kept charging them. That was like his like fucking final moment. But they never really had a strong naval unit, and so Britain was always just around, and they would
Yeah.
always just pay other countries to fight him.
Yeah, England had a good navy, but Napoleon's artillery was unmatched.
Yeah, and then they would just always pay. Well, he did like a lot of like what they would call guerrilla warfare nowadays, kind of stuff like that. Split up the troops, hit them hard, hit them fast, push, push, push. Uh, and eventually that was part of the other thing is they kind of learned to adapt to that eventually. Especially with multiple countries having multiple armies against them. Uh, but yeah, it was kind of Britain who was like always fuck with them, and I like that was one of the things I was thinking like if and like Oh, that was part of it. He sold land to America to continue his war and stuff like that. And I always wonder like what would have been the effects, like because like people like to do a lot of stories of like what if Germany won World War II or something.
This is beautiful.
But like
What if?
the ripple effect if like what if America didn't win the British, you know, become America?
Yeah.
Like what if they
Or
lost the Revolutionary War?
What if,
What has happened to me?
after funding our war, France turned around and then just started war with us?
From death.
I mean, that's possible, but like I said, they didn't have enough ships to even get to fucking Britain.
I mean, they did have a colony here, though.
They did, but you know.
I mean, and that's the thing that we always love to ignore as American history is that like anything below Virginia before like you know like the Civil War, we don't really talk about it. That was French and Spanish, and then we don't really talk about
A huge
all
part of Canada
Louisiana
was
Purchase. Yeah, but like all of California, Texas, all that, we really don't talk about that until the Louisiana Purchase, and it's like, yeah, all those Spanish named cities. The reason why they're Spanish named is because they were fucking Spain.
Should have died
Like,
with my family.
Yeah.
like that was a Spain colony. But no, we don't talk about that.
One way to close the circle.
Well, I only
We like to
realized.
believe it was untamed America.
Well, yeah,
Time has come for
but also I never even thought about it till recently when people started bringing it up. Like I was always like, yeah, America fucked over the native people, like not casually like that. I'm just saying, but I never really thought like, hey, Canada did the same shit. Everywhere did the same shit.
Yeah,
There was
everyone.
natives everywhere.
It's just that for 100+ years afterwards, we still referred to them as Indians, and Canadians a long time ago started to refer to them as natives, which is probably not correct.
You have $100 on Steam?
And a wraith
Buy a Dick
come
Jeffs.
together in death. Craft the one thing
I don't know. How do you
No,
make a pool table laugh? Paint Sasquatch's ass.
You fill its pocket.
What?
Power can blind those who
know.
seek it.
You fuck its pocket?
Even the
Paint
strongest
says he's
You
fucking
fill
its
its
pocket.
pocket.
can be broken.
Pool its
Get
pocket?
fucked in the
The
pocket.
future I have
You know,
seen.
what are you, the pool table's bitch in prison? Why are you holding his pocket?
Yeah. But yeah. I mean,
That
dude, it's
calls
fucked
to
up
you
no matter where you go.
again,
You tickle his balls.
Ranger. How do you answer?
I don't know. I
Back
never
his
laughed
balls.
from someone tickling my balls.
I mean, pretty ticklish on a cold day.
Which one's the first one? The Shadow of Mordor or the Shadow of
Italian.
I don't know. I know
Shadow
this.
of War is the second one.
Where did you
Okay,
go?
so that's what I'm playing.
I'll be right back.
Steam's down apparently, guys. Otherwise, I would have been playing PUBG. But
Nothing can be changed.
hey, this is on PlayStation. It was for free. What's this?
The wraith calls to you.
The Wraith.
I call to you.
Wraith! Where are you?
What happened to No Man's Sky? Steam's just not working, Nathan. I was gonna mix it up today with PUBG. I still love No Man's Sky. But Steam is down right now, so I can't launch games that are online player. Like you can play offline games, but
So
that
a
means
moth walks into a podiatrist's office.
wait, hold on. But like, you know, like this is on PlayStation, but if I had this game on PC, I could play it because single player game.
You can play it on Xbox.
Well, I'm just explaining why, with Steam being down, I can't play multiple player games right now.
I will find you.
Because if their servers are down, you can't play online games. Like, even if you play No Man's Sky solo mode, it relies on their servers, I believe, because of the infinite stuff. I don't know. It working now? Just rename your code? Oh, alright. Well, what do you call one-legged sex worker? What up, Rico?
Need to keep quiet.
What'd you say?
Sasquatch asked what you call a one-legged sex worker, and it better not be IHOP.
IHOP?
That's a waitress.
We must defeat her.
I don't know. I'm probably just gonna try this game out for the night, because I already started up and set the stream up. Anyway. Plus, I always wanted to play this game, I just never did. When did this game come out?
Couple years ago.
I'm just saying, the graphics aren't amazing me. But I guess I'm playing on a PS4 instead of a PlayStation.
Yeah, when it was on my,
Amazing.
no,
Or,
when I was
not
playing it on my PC, it looked
PC,
really
yeah.
good. Yeah, so a moth walks into a.
Free me.
Elon, come on. Is that because you come on, Eileen?
Did you ever hear that joke?
I don't know. You keep just randomly shouting stuff.
It's a fucking Norm Macdonald joke.
I don't know. You just go. Chicken
all
comes
right.
on my leg.
It's a long one, but all right. So a moth walks into a podiatrist's office. Podiatrist says, "What can I do for you, moth?
I think I have
Moth
heard this
says-
joke, but
What can you do for me? Where do I begin, doc? I go to work each day. I
That
work
shit-
for this man, Raymond Needlevich, and I just don't even know what I do anymore. I just walk around the office. Quite frankly, I don't even think he knows what I do. I think he just likes to give me orders. I think he gets pleasure out of it. And then I go home and I lay down to this woman. I can't even recognize her anymore, Doc. Doc says, yeah, and he goes, yeah, I used to love her. And then my youngest, Alexandria, she fell in the cold last year, as many of us did. And the worst part, Doc, I could barely even say it. My youngest, Gregory, I can barely even look
oh
him in
my
the eye.
god! Just suck that guy's head off.
I can barely even look him in the eye. When I do, I catch the same cowardice I get when I stare myself in the mirror. And if only the cowardice was strong enough, I could just pick up that gun and just end it all. Doc is like, Jesus, Moth, I mean, I'm happy to help with whatever you need, but why'd you come here? It sounds like you need a psychiatrist. And the Moth says, oh, the light was on.
Oh, let him do it on fire. Woo! I heard that joke. I don't know
fucking love
exactly
that
that
joke.
joke, but there's several jokes where someone just ends up saying, "Oh, because the light was on."
Yeah, it's a Shaggy Dog joke. It's fucking amazing.
It's clear.
I love that joke. Just the confidence of going on and like just completely losing a fucking crowd. But another comedian said that he saw Norm Macdonald do that on purpose, where like he would go into a comedy club, like he was doing a casino show, and before the theater filled up, he went to the little show that they have at the bar, and they let him go on for about 15 minutes, and for 15 minutes he just went up there and went, whatever happened to apples? I used to go to the store and there used to be one type of apple. I go there and they got this golden delicious macadamia, and it just starts naming fucking apples for like fucking 5 minutes, and like the crowd just slowly just walks on and goes, oh, you're not a produce fan? Like, oh.
Yeah, do it yourself
I guess
sometimes.
Well, no, to just have the confidence to be on stage in front of people and just being like, I'm gonna talk about whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And not like the cold sweats of like comedians saying like when you go on and you write like, all right, there should be a pop here, and you don't get that pop, and it's like, and you just start scrambling and like.
But you understand
Norm
there's a
Macdonald-
little difference in what he did in that other version of what happens and how you feel.
Well, yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Norm Macdonald didn't care about the pops. He really did, because he would talk through them and be like, no, you don't understand. Like, just he was uncomfortable in the silence, which most public speakers aren't, especially when your whole thing is making people laugh. We are getting steamrolled. I've never had a good match on this fucking map. Like, never.
I called you here
But you know
for a
what?
reason.
Most of the times I'm on the German side,
Return him to
so
me.
I really don't care if the Germans gonna see the fucking map. I said, come on, Eileen.
For a man. But it is not your sword.
So I completely
My-
forgot that when we went to the Red Sox,
How much are you
the
willing
Red
to
Sox
say?
have this tradition during the 7th inning stretch to play Sweet Caroline. And holy shit,
Not everything.
does that stadium not fucking
Not yet.
vibrate from the fucking eruption of people just going, oh, oh, oh.
You want the ring?
You would give me the ring.
Every fucking match.
And find myself beside him in your
I am Sheila.
Eh. So my friend just texted me and said he got some mushrooms and they're called penis heavy. So I said, so you got penis heavy now?
Tom's doing some shrooms, y'all.
Not me, him.
Yeah, but you didn't do some shrooms on stage. I mean, on a stream.
He says, yeah, feels great.
take your price.
So that's the funny part is he has a job where they do drug tests. Not always, but they do still randomly drug test, so he's worried about smoking weed.
He must mean something to you.
So he instead just does mushrooms when he can.
He'll benefit before he dies.
Hey, compromise.
It's compromise, but it's just funny, like, if they would just let him smoke
Yeah,
weed.
that's like my friend Ben, dude, for the longest time. He's a diesel mechanic. Like, just like a lot of places do. Oh yeah, we drug test if we have suspicion and stuff, and he like took it so to heart and was like, no, I can't, no. And he just found out yesterday that like everyone, including his boss, smokes, and I'm like, yeah, dude, because for legal fucking reasons they have to say that. Like,
Well, yeah, for legal reasons they do, and that's the other thing that's funny about him is like people get caught, like people show up high and they get caught, they're still fine.
yeah. Well, because the thing is, and like I even showed him in my employee handbook, if you're suspected, they can't just drug test you; they have to drug test everyone.
Oh well, no, in his one they can't. Like if you know, if you're at work and they expect you're high at work, they can't just test you,
Well, no,
and they
see, that's the
can
thing.
do just
And-
random drug tests.
And in most states, they can't single out employees for things like that, unless they have like 100%, unless they find weed on you.
I guess New Jersey is different because they could just do random drug tests on anyone at any time without doing anyone else. Like,
Yeah,
so they
the
could
places
specifically
that take it
test
serious
one
here.
person, but they
No,
can't like
they-
constantly test one person because they, you know, it's not like, hey, it's random, so we're gonna test you every week and no one else.
Yeah. What position makes the ugliest children? I don't know.
I was gonna ask that too, but you were going off.
Doggy style. I don't know, whatever one my parents were having when they conceived me.
Dude, you're a handsome man. Don't even front. You got really good looks. Don't you guys think Paint's a handsome gentleman?
Sometimes I just forget the buttons in this game and I start smashing the whatever fucking one I think is going to do what I need.
Mm.
Like, yeah, I want to revive this guy. C. That's crouch. Nope. Revive.
Mm. You got it. Sasquatch says, I don't know, ask your mom.
I was kind of on the right path.
He did say that afterwards. He said, you got it.
Showed us the truth. Gondor's last fortress in Mordor cannot fall.
I also hate when I feel like people don't realize that they're a squad leader,
Nah.
and you get those bonuses of like dropping bombs and shit. And it's like you could really change the tide of this war by dropping a good old artillery strike.
Yeah, except for everyone's for themselves. Okay,
I mean, a
so
lot of the time.
I just got the title scene, so maybe this will change afterwards. But so far, it's been seeming like a lot of
We must seize it.
It seems like more of a, you know, even though I can do action, it seems more of like a, what are those games called? Like movie games, story games,
I will not let
Cinematic?
cinematic. Where this is like,
No, I mean it's an open world game, so it definitely opens up and plays a lot like Batman again.
do something.
well, that's what I figured it eventually would. But like
I
right
mean,
now,
it does
so
go very
far,
cutscene where like any named people that you encounter, every time you see them, they're gonna be like, "Oi, Grey Walker."
yeah, because like that's what I feel like it's doing. Is like really banking on the Lord of the Rings fans, and like if I cared about any of it.
If I cared about any of it, like the only thing I care about is the Nemesis system, and I'm very upset that no other developer gets to use it now.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
The Nemesis engine that's used in that game that basically creates new characters that have history with you and all that stuff. Basically the only reason to play that game. I forgot what I think it is Warner Brothers that owns it, but they patented it and the patent approved, so basically no other company can use a similar engine of like characters developing organically.
well, that does suck then.
Yeah, because dude, it does create some of the best storylines. Like, right, like just if me and you play the game at the exact same time, we will have completely different stories. Just because of like the orcs that I encounter and you'll encounter will be completely different, and they'll have different actions and fears and strengths and weaknesses. And if you scare them, that will change how you encounter them and
Rather watch a movie.
changes their appearance. It changes everything, and it's like that's so depressing. That like, dude, so many games could use that.
No, I've heard about that, you know, beforehand. But real quick, Sasquatch. I mean, interactive movies are. I just think they're pretty cool. You know, not this per se. But Payne says it opens off. But like, I like Detroit Becoming Human. Detroit Becoming Human has like a lot of split offs. So it's kind of like what Payne's talking about, but in a different way. But I like that stuff. I like games where they're like, "Hey, your choices matter."
Yeah.
That's why it's
You got,
upsetting,
like-
because I did hear about like what you're talking about, you know, with the orcs and becoming your villains. Like they grow, like you might fight and let them live or some shit, and then they grow to be
Yeah,
bigger
or, like,
villains.
Say like if you find one that's like scared of like more guy flies, they're like basically giant bees. And like when you encounter him, you find one of those hives and you shoot it down. He might freak out and run away, being humiliated, and it might make him the mad or the crazy and stuff. And he might get a different weapon and he might get stat boost. And guess what? He might not be scared of more guy flies anymore. So you're gonna have to change when you go fight him again. But he's gonna remember that you fucked with him,
Yeah,
you know.
like I
My
remember.
favorite were when they were poets or singers, and everything they said was a song or a rhyming poem. And I was like, this guy, I can't kill him. I refuse to kill him. Like,
Yeah, see, I remember hearing about that. It's sad to hear like no one else can use that. I feel like at some point some of that shit has to change, certain style wise.
That's the patent's pretty in depth. Like it covers all the good stuff.
I'm using a shadow guy? Oh hey. I guess that's what it is, because this guy's like, oh, just suck your brains out.
Oh.
Pop goes the weasel. How do I crouch in this game?
That's the you're playing on controller, I think it's R2 or L2.
Yeah, it is R2.
But yeah. It's a cool game, but I don't give a flying fuck about Lord of the Rings, so
No, I don't either. That's why I was like, I'm not paying $60 for this. And honestly, looking at it right now as a PlayStation 4 game, and again, it could be because I play on fucking PC, and you're gonna hate it because I know you always hate it when I say this, but The Witcher looks a lot better.
oh yeah, no, dude, not even fair. That's not even fair.
Especially, I guess, because I'm looking at the hair, and like Witcher was like, "Hey, we're gonna do a whole thing about hair."
Yeah, we're gonna make Nvidia develop this whole technology that we're only gonna use it once.
Well, I think
no
what
game is ever going to use Nvidia hair works.
well, the main thing that happened with NVIDIA hair work, which happens with like a lot of stuff,
This is just too much, and most games are just like, it's not worth it.
yeah, because literally when you turned it on, it cuts your like. It's like, hey, you could have like 60 frame rates. You turn it on, you go down to 30, or you have 100 frame rates and you turn it on, it goes down
Well,
to
like,
30.
Red Dead Redemption did it pretty fucking good too.
Yeah, but
Like,
see,
you could
that's the
play
thing.
that storyline through where like shave Arthur all the way down and give him like a buzz cut, and his hair will start growing back.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. It's, technology progresses. Whether the thing worked at the time or didn't really work at the time, per se, it definitely lays down foreground for the next guy.
I'm kind of a vampire per se.
Well, I mean, I think I would say Fortnite's kind of a vampire per se. But I would say using similar technology or schematics kind of thing, like hair technology or like,
Oh no,
character
Fortnite is a leech.
yeah, or character development like you talked about this game. I wouldn't say like, hey, you're just biting off of it, because the thing is, in most cases, you're developing a whole game still. Fortnite is just biting quickly off of what already exists and dishes it once it stops existing. Like, that's why they're more of a vampire. They suck it dry and then throw it away like a dead carcass. They don't, they're not like, hey, I'm making this whole game and it's based upon certain aspects and I want to hold true to those aspects. They're just like, how can we make money? What is popular and what will make us money? And I get it. That's how companies work. And really, that's even the whole reason why Fortnite is around. They would have been dead in the gutter if they stayed on their whole fort defending game base that they build. Which I do feel bad about. Because I feel like there has to be at least some people who are like, were the original development team who are mad about that. Like, this was my idea. This is what I really wanted. And no one gave a fuck. And I will not be remembered for defend the fort mode that no one wants to buy. Because I don't know if they still sell it or if it's still offered for free. I just remember people keep saying, like, oh, it's gonna, like, you have to buy it right now, but soon it's gonna be offered for free. But then everyone be like, it's never been offered for free. It still hasn't been offered for free like a year later.
Yeah.
And I also know that's not really the development's team's choice mostly, like those calls. It's a lot more executives. And them telling like, hey, this is what's gonna work. But it's just so soon that they'll take anything. Fucking COD was like, hey, we're gonna be unique and use zombies in our battle royale mode, and they're like, okay, we're adding battle royales too. We're not battle royales, zombies. And then everyone was like, we don't care about zombies. I'm like, we're throwing it away. It's out of the game. Hey. Wait, find outshot to replenish your. Hey! Stop it. See, they do have some good combat. I'm just a little disappointed in. Like, this is my main character, and his face and hair look a little flat. Like, his armor and even cape look more detailed. And again, that's probably because I'm just playing on PlayStation 4. Which shouldn't look that bad, but, like, I guarantee, like, it is guaranteed if I went on PC, it'd probably look a lot better. I think it's on PC. Also, I don't know how old it is, but it's not older than Witcher. Witcher is still, again, but though I played that on PC, so I can't. Also, Pan's gonna slap me eventually. I'm gonna drive down to Roy and be like, stop saying Witcher! Let's say Witcher one more time like you say scum. And I only say scum because I know that's a good game we just honestly don't really play ever. I don't know. Maybe they had to give it graphic wise to do the other aspects. Yeah.
We need to target their captains.
You know what game I never really played because it was Xbox exclusive, but I bought it on PC, but I never really finished it. Like, it was like Rome or something. I think it was called like Rome. I feel like that might have had similar graphics to this. Although maybe not exactly. Maybe
The Wraith World will reveal his presence.
the Wraith World will reveal its presence. How am I looking at the Wraith World? Also, it's very cocky to patent the whole boss you know, the thing you just said, the character growth thing, while still using, like, I don't know, so many games use the same thing of tracking and marking characters, like Red Dead, Hitman, anything that has basically a sense mode that shows you characters through walls and stuff, and then you can mark, or Fraud Trails. Like, it's just it's honestly a little ballsy. They'd be like, we don't want people copying us. Well, we copy other people. And I wouldn't even have said anything. But if they're gonna patent something, then be completely original. 100%. You can't do anything else other people did.
Your mission is to secure the Seeing Stone. It's blue, it's round, and it's ours. This is a powerful artifact, lads. You bring it to me, but do not touch it unless you want your brains scrambled.
It's blue, it's round, it's orange, it's ours, don't touch it. That's what they said about my penis.
Yeah.
What's this there? Oh, wait, behind. Okay, so at least there's one new thing that I wish other games had. Especially
What?
Assassin's Creed. Leave behind button. I'm tired of trying to jump like in Assassin's Creed. I'm tired of trying to fall, but be constantly jumping upwards because you have to wait for like the right moment to jump down. Or, all right, fuck it, let's do it. Woo! Whoop, whoop, whoop. You're dead.
Are you lost? Minas Ithil is no more. This is Minas Morgul. And Minas Morgul eats your kind.
Yep, he wanted to have like a whole speech. For Gondor? What, bitch? Ah. I laid a shadow guy down. Oh no, dude! Don't die! No! Wait, what? Where's the slave button? Alright. Oh. Oh, gut stab. Killed him. No, you ain't running away. Actually, I think one dude did run away. Defeating Caps allows someone to forgive Forge powerful Geralt.
Why are you out here alone?
My raiding party was trapped in the lower city overnight.
How many of you were there?
Not enough.
Oh. Bait chug dick like you chug cock.
Still stands.
We're about to lose the middle city, Ranger. They'll be closing the gate if they haven't already. We need to get up there as fast as we can.
I'll be right behind you. Wait. What is your name?
Idril,
Talia.
Oh,
don't
I
fall.
wish I had a pet.
We've lost enough men today.
Follow your drone.
Do you hear that, Ranger? They're closing the gate.
Then let's
My sniffy nose.
Let's move.
Let's see some of that black blood.
Go, the ranger, the little one. Oh god, I just sucked off a rat. Hey, are you in there?
Arian will need our support. We can't leave him out here. Get closer, Sean. Closer.
I think where did you go?
This is just like Shelob's vision.
If Sauron's forces get the Palantir, all of Middle-earth will share the same fate.
I don't know how long that fucking.
What are you doing? Where are you going?
Not looking good.
It hasn't looked
Go
good
get a
for
drink.
weeks.
I sucked off a rat. That was sad. Pop your head, Ghost. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like they half-assed it a little bit. All these villains just look like fat dudes.
Men are at the arena. We must aid them.
Fat bondage dudes. I'm being too critical. I mean, honestly, I can't do it. And I got the game for free, so. No, so that is possible. Maybe they reduced graphics for more cinematic universe, bigger world kind of thing.
It is fucking huge.
Yeah.
Dragon.
Well, there's only so much data people could do, you know.
Dago, we're pulling back. The middle city is lost. Not before we finish.
I mean, I guess I'll kind of end it with DVDs and shit, though. But still, you gotta kind of comply with PlayStation and Xbox.
They're sealing the gate. Move out. Move out.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel like this has subtle undertones of racism. Let's see some of that blood, black blood.
Faster, Ranger.
Well, orcs have black blood.
Huh?
Orcs have black colored blood.
Yeah, but
But yeah, no, definitely.
I mean, beyond that, like, I know that you know, like, that's what I'm not saying. Like, hey, I'm not saying if you like Lord of the Rings, you're racist, or the movies or games are trying to be racist. But there's a lot of evidence that Tolkien was and used algorithms for black people and stuff like that. You know, the whole black skin orcs are evil and
You doing?
white pure skin elves are the best, and the pinkish humans are in the middle. And then, you know, the fans being like, well, there weren't black people back then, so why would they be in a TV show? Because fucking, why not? You know, like, I have to stick to historical data. Okay. Orcs and elves didn't exist. Ugh. How's your war against humanity going, Paint?
Yeah.
I just got murdered. The burst in the skull.
Wasn't worth much to begin with.
God damn it. Almost made it. Well, so we are kind of tossing them, so it might not even matter.
Like that? They're all
Paint, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
That's a hypothetical question. I'm not doing it. It's just I want to know your opinion on the thing. Like just looking at some stuff. What do you think is more reasonable or sane? Or I don't want to make it. I don't even want to make it like crazy or you know stuff like that. Just what's the difference between someone buying a gun for $500 and say even someone buying like a Pokemon card for $500?
I mean, a gun could be used hypothetically if you are in danger, where a Pokemon card, unless you're in dire financial straits,
We've lost the
Because
battle
what?
come in handy. But I said a gun can
for every inch of
actively
ground.
save your life if you're in danger. And the Pokemon card, I guess, I mean, can get you out of dire financial straits if you can find a buyer for it.
Inner wall is our strongest. We have double their arch.
We can't match the orcs for their numbers or ferocity.
Our people
But still, hypothetically, you know, the point is you wouldn't use either if you had the choice.
Yes, of course.
I mean, but you can still use a gun in practice. By going
Well, you can use the Pokemon card in practice. You know, maybe go to Pokemon matches.
The place is here.
Make sure they're taken down.
Fair enough, but
Is that
one's a little bit more active than the other.
You must understand.
I mean, yeah, the Pokemon card is a lot more active.
Precious
at
it
all costs?
No.
No, you don't think there's more
Facetious.
Pokemon matches than shooting
In gun
people?
ranges in America? No.
Well, I
because
mean,
there's
not
fucking
gun
4
ranges,
guns for
but,
every
like,
gun
you're not
in
really-
America.
I guess, touche. But I thought you were meaning in combat or something, in use, not just popping off.
Even still in use, I bet you there's more Americans that know how to use a gun than a fucking American knows how to play a
But you
Pokemon
were
match
all dead.
using cards.
You heard the truth.
Yeah, because any idiot can use a gun.
From Minnesota, Ranger.
That's the whole fucking
Captain Barrow.
design behind them.
For the Palantir and its safekeeping.
Protect the city, and the Palantir will be safe. However,
But nah, I can't justify
targeting enemy
either.
captains in the lower city.
I mean, I'm not trying to buy a $500 Pokemon card. Just you know, I just wanted like I was looking at the auction stuff and being like, kind of ideally, what's the difference? Like, I know you can drag both out for show, and that's what I kind of as you know treat gun ranges as. You're just dragging out for show.
But you can also do more than just a gun range with a gun. You can take a gun hunting.
Well, I
you
specifically
target-
said a pistol, and you wouldn't hunt with a
Well,
pistol.
You said a firearm. Did
No,
you say a handgun?
yeah, I said a handgun. I said $500 for a handgun. Because I looked up like what is one of the most popular handguns, and it was $500. So
Oh,
that's
there's target shooting and things. That
Yeah, but that's
activities you can do.
still just for show, really.
I mean, it's more than what you can do with a Pokemon card. A Pokemon card is you can take it out and go, look at this, or you can go, you want to play a match?
Well, yeah, but see, playing a match is more useful, like, because there are people who do competitively play Pokemon.
And there are people who competitively shoot.
You are correct. They can be both utilized in certain ways.
I think you can use a gun a little bit more than you can use a Pokemon card.
We need to secure the
I don't know. Maybe if I just give the guy who wants to kill you a Pokemon card for $500, he'll just walk away.
Or maybe he'll kill you and take the
is right. By protecting
True.
humanity, we protect the Palantir.
Or maybe it's not a guy and maybe it's a wild animal.
for my towers once. Now some corruption spreads beyond the borders of Mordor.
Are you one of those people who want to carry a fucking pistol everywhere they go?
Not without the
No, but...
Or
what if
you
you're
running
home?
into a wild, like, yeah, I don't go outside.
Yeah, dude, there was a black bear spotted down the street from me last week.
And you think a pistol's gonna stop a bear?
A black bear? Yeah, it's not a grizzly.
Nonetheless, also, I've seen videos of people who are just staying there through the fucking door looking at the black bear while it's, like, up against the wall.
Regardless.
I get what you're saying. I just, you know what? I don't even know why. Nah.
I can't I choose you, motherfucker, to a bear.
I mean, maybe you can.
Maybe.
You never
I don't
threw.
know what its
No one ever
weaknesses
threw a Pokemon card at a bear before.
Fair enough.
Now just imagine a bear breaking through a window like, "Roar!" and someone throwing a fucking Pokemon card at him, going, "I choose you." Now reminded of the funny little cartoon I saw, drawing wise of Digimon. You scratch, and then it crawls out of the fucking ground with like fucking 6 arms, and Pikachu's just crying. Just like, where'd it get scratched from?
Is that ever addressed in the lore of Pokemon? Like, Ash always seems to like just have the ball in his pocket. So is it just one?
No,
ball?
Pikachu in the cartoon his Pikachu doesn't want to be in a ball, so
Yeah,
Pikachu
yeah.
just stays
But
out.
still, and Ash's overall goal of catching them all and becoming the very best that no one ever was.
No, the idea is you could only carry 6 Pokemon at a time to compete. All the other Pokemon you catch, you upload to, using the medical station by Joy. I don't know if other people have different resources, but it always seemed like he uploaded them to Professor Oak, the Pokemon research.
You know the implications of a Pokemon insinuates that there was a great war before.
Yeah, they just say a great war, and it's pretty clear they're just talking about animal battling.
I want that Pokemon game.
It's basically, I think really the lore is pretty much similar to Hunger Games, except for instead of I don't know, what do they call the Hunger Games people? Like, I know they're subjects, volunteers. Not volunteers, tributes. But instead, everyone just kind of volunteers because they're not actually one battling. They're just offering up their Pokemon. And basically you have to go around and get badges to compete in the tournament. But I I don't know about the later series stuff, you know. I just know the original series. And that one, Ash really never actually won things. He kind of just was given badges by the gym masters for kind of being like a cool guy. Like he solved their problems that they didn't know they had or whatever. Like Team Rocket would show up just randomly. And then help battle them, and then, you know, they'd be like, okay, well, you lost the battle, but you helped us, you know, get our Pokemon back or some shit, so here's a badge. Like, honestly, two of his best friends were fucking gym leaders, Misty and Brock.
Hey,
And he did not win. They just gave him one. I mean, honestly,
they're like, you know what? You're the very best in our hearts.
that's basically what it was. But, like, if I was a contender, I might have complained, honestly.
Oh, you Karen.
Well, look, I'd been like, look, I defeated all these people to earn this shit.
Yeah, but did you have to cross Japan following that sweet ass of Misty and not try to tap it?
That's a 14-year-old girl, you pervert.
What?
That's a
Where
four-
are her parents?
Where's Ash's parents? He's 13.
I have a problem with this whole entire series now.
You did not know that?
No.
Fucking James and fucking
How old's fucking Dr. Oak? 20?
no, he's an old man. That's what makes it even weirder. He's like 50, 60. And James and what's her name? The two I know James.
She's in preschool.
No, why is this? No, James and goddamn, what's the other Rocket League member? Either or, you don't care. They're 16. They're 16-year-olds bullying a 13-year-old with a 14-year-old sidekick, and I think Brock might have even been a little older. Now I gotta Google this.
I have a whole problem with this series now.
Yeah, a lot of people do when they grow up and go, wait, what? Because, like, that was part of it is, like, a lot of people made the joke is they just let a fucking child go exploring with no parental supervision. I was just like, all right, bye. You want to be the best you can be, go be. I don't care. And also, this isn't confirmed in the story, but a lot of people make the joke, like, later on, she gets a Mr. Mime. You know, the one Ash that rescues or something, I think. And everyone's like, Mr. Mime's fucking Ash's mom.
Huh.
Yeah, see, Pokemon trainers generally start their ages around 10. 11 in Alola when they receive the first Pokemon. However, they could start later in the region of Yuan region. The playable character is around 16, 17, not 10. Which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I might have been wrong. Ash might have been 10.
I don't know what the fuck's going on in Japan, man.
Let's see.
King Pokemon.
Pokemon! See, they start young. Let's see. SH. Ash is 10 years old.
Your penis very large.
I don't think you should say that after I just said Ash is 10 years old, but okay.
No, you don't understand.
Oh, no, Misty is also 10 years old.
What the? No. I have a problem with all that.
Brock age. Brock is 15.
90-year-old lady. I'm gonna be like, no, she's 3.
Brock
You
is
understand
15.
time moves sideways in this
Brock is 15. And let's see, Team Rocket. See, because I remember this was like the whole thing. Right now they're saying Jesse's 20, but that's when I type in James. Let me see if Alright, so I thought he was 16. Now this thing that I'm searching is saying James and Jesse are like 18, 20.
No one knows. All right.
I thought the articles were about like because they're
Fredo
18.
once said that they, their age is added up to 69. I don't know.
No, I mean I'm sure people know how old the main characters are. Like Jesse and James are still older, which was always something that was like, wait, they're picking on little kids, but a lot of people pick on little kids there. It's alright, it's alright. I know you were like 10 years old when you watched it, so you have that little boy crush, and you're like, no, it's gotta be older.
I mean, even so much I married a redhead.
I mean, I do think, I don't even want to say this live on stream, but I think recall her having boobs, which would have to make her older than 10 at least. I mean, still, I think she's probably a child, but...
You will dismantle his hold on Minas Tirith.
I still blame the creator.
Will shift the tide of war.
Yeah, well, Japanese, you know what? That might be unfair to say.
No, I think it's pretty fair to say. I think we can look up more than a few examples.
Only, yeah.
Articles, please.
Yeah, they sexualize a young child, and now you're using that sexualized of a young child to fulfill your own sexual needs.
Whoa. What?
But you don't want to...
Thank God this is my last nap.
But I'm not saying you're thinking of her as a young child. You're thinking of her older. You're basing the fact that she was sexualized in a
Yeah,
cartoon,
they know what they were doing with those short shorts.
that you're thinking, hey, she had to be older.
Yeah, who wears short shorts and suspenders like that?
I mean, children from the 80s.
Well, I was born in the 90s, so... That shit was lame by my time. They're like, why don't you just get improper fitting jeans?
Yeah. Get the Jankos. Bringing back bell bottoms.
Yeah, low-rise bell bottoms. Think every time those try to come back in fashion, I go, shut up.
Soon the great serpent will arrive and swallow the world.
What about low rise bell bottoms?
Cleansed of
Those things dragged on the ground.
only then will it be fit for her jaws. Die.
They were more like wedding dresses made of dreams with a
Yeah.
split between middle.
Alright, I'm gonna head off to bed.
After all the controversy, you're gonna be like, now you deal with it. Ah! Goddamn orc.
Ah, the orc got the better of you, yeah?
Yeah, actually, I think he's murdering me. Yeah, he just kinda got at me.
Yep, that murdered you. Yep, definitely murdered you.
serpent rejoices
All over
in
your
your
face.
death. I can hear her satisfied hiss already.
Every time that happens, I used to imagine the Grey Walker being like, ah, the fuck. And has to bring you back alive.
I don't know, what I was just imagining there is he's like a fucking heel wrestler who's like, yes! Alright, I've heard of you! Haha! Look at my claw hands!
He has claw hands? What?
Not claw hands, but he had like the gauntlets with 2 claws on them.
The ring is lost, but we can defeat Sauron.
No, I poured my
Oh,
into
do you know I named my big rolling eye guy named Siren?
You big what?
In No Man's Sky, they have an animal that's just a giant eye that rolls around and blinks.
Oh, you named it Sauron.
Yeah.
He'd be so much less intimidating rolling around. Everyone, make sure there's no sticks before I come out.
I mean, is he any more intimidating being just a floating eye over a thing?
Well, see, that's the thing. I never realized this until I played the game. But so, you know how like the eye has like that elongated pupil, like the vertical pupil.
Yeah.
So that is actually supposed to be the silhouette of a man, and he's basically the Dark Knight, and the guy that is in your body is supposed to be the opposite of him. That's what the Flash is supposed to be about.
Yeah.
That guy that possesses you is also the creator of the rings.
Well, I
Why'd
didn't
you
know
make
the
all the
eye
wrong-
wasn't actually supposed to be him, but like, you know, he's a wizard or some shit, but still.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I did read this thing recently about, and I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, so I can't actually corroborate their hypothesis, but they talked about how the Horcrux or whatever, Horcrux, you know, corrupted people over time. And that explains why Harry's parents, or not parents, aunt and uncle, ended up being abusive to him. Because they had to live with him, which I guess they're saying it's basically a Horcrux. I don't remember if he is.
Yeah, his scar was a Horcrux.
Yeah, so like that fucking wait,
You know what?
if his Horcrux if his scar is a Horcrux, does that mean they had to cut off his scar to like finish him? Because I thought they had to destroy all the Horcrux.
Dude, I haven't watched that series.
Yeah, I don't know. I got very confused on the last few movies, and I only read the first few books.
Also, that movie has a whole lot of racist undertones too when you look at it.
Well, apparently she's a fucking turf.
There was a Screen Rant thing about the Harry Potter series where they did the whole the guy that the fuck's his catchphrase? Not a problem, Bailey Inconvenience, that guy.
Yeah.
Where he was explaining like the lore of Harry Potter to like the producer, and he's just like, so tell me about the goblins, or
Oh yeah, I did hear about like a lot of people compare the goblins to
he's
Jewish
just like, well, they have
racism.
hook noses, and they look, and he goes, that sounds a lot like a 1940s Nazi propaganda poster, and he goes, no, see, they're really short, and they like money. And you go, oh, okay. And then he keeps moving on, and he goes, so tell me about this character Dobby, and he goes, and like, dude, it's just, there's no explaining around that.
Nah, I did also
Genius,
see a different tweet talking about how old cartoons were basically very anti-Semitic and no one really wants to acknowledge it. And you know, they did name some examples where I'm like, okay, maybe you're right. I don't know if they intentionally meant to be it, but you know, kind of something that transferred over from like what kids see, and you know, what parents show their kids and what other kids see. Because, like, they talked about, like, Smurfs with the Gargamel. You know,
Yeah.
big nose, greedy guy, all about money, stuff like that. And then some other characters. And, like, I could see it. I don't know if they were trying to be. I mean, maybe they were. It seems like... I feel like... And I don't want people to feel, like, unvalidated, but I feel like if you show enough villains as a certain way, kids might just see that's how villains are without actually understanding that that's why they're being villainized. And then when they grow up and make cartoons or movies, that they villainize the same aspect physically without... Because, like, there was nothing that I recall that actually be like, hey, they're Jewish. And it was just big nose thing. And then the other part is like, are you kind of also being anti-Semitic to mean like all Jewish people have to have a big nose? I don't know. Because like that was part of the Semitic thing, is like all Jewish people have a big nose. And that's why Anne Frank kind of lived, because not Anne Frank, but other, Anne Frank was left alone majority because she was a blonde hair, small nose stuff, and it seems like, okay, well, you're avoiding stereotyping. It's a complex issue, and I probably shouldn't be like commenting on it drunk because it's
Probably
serious.
Well, I'll talk to you tomorrow, dude.
What are we playing tomorrow? You still playing Battlefield?
I don't know.
You don't know. You don't want to play anything. We can just chat sometime. I've been mostly chatting this time.
Alright. Well, later, buddy.
Eat butthole. Later. Have fun.
You need to watch that show, Ghost.
Okay, well. I don't know. I
So
should.
the ghosts have a food club. Where they just go over like the foods that they miss, and it's the caveman's term. And they go, "What do you miss?" And he goes,
Well, I'm gonna watch it. Why you tell me the stuff that happens in it?
"Fuck you."
No, tell me.
But he
I'm
just goes, I miss bum. Yeah, bum. I like neck, but definitely bum. Bum first.
Hmm.
But yeah, it comes up a couple more times, and it's just like All right.
I
I'll
have
talk to you later.
skin selections.
Yeah, there's skins and armor sets, and
What are the skins?
Well-
Just like different characters, or?
I think so. But like I said, there's also armor and swords. And yeah. Later, dude.
Later, Gator. Honestly, I have no idea what's going on in this game. Let's just kill stuff. Come here. The fuck? Okay. Okay. I don't know what that is, but oh, head pop. No, it's Jim. But... Oh, these things. Hey, look at you, pretty. I don't know why I free you just to kill you. Hmm. No, actually, I'm just calling like here, boys and girls and gals and ghouls and booty hurts. I'm a little bit tired. Thank you for watching. Liking, subscribing. I'll be back tomorrow. Special shout outs to our members, Corpse Cupcake, Tiny Tina, Pharaoh TV, Excalibur, Mark Gowrie, Rico, BT Martin, everyone else working, looking, twerking. Have a grand old time and a grand old night.